I decided since we have a limited amount of wood today, it would probably be better to get the wall up because I'm going to need to access that to run electrical anyway, and it'd be easier than having to go through the kitchen and crawl all over the top to get up here. So what we're going to do now, we're all pretty well prepared with our markouts above of where the studs are here. You can see the little marks across there and the X's. So now Missy and I have to make the final determination of how wide we want the opening to be. Remember, there's going to be a 3/4 of an inch of finish on this wall over here. So we really have to determine how much of an opening we want, and we thought maybe 28 inches. So just in case one day you just have to totally roll in there and you feel very comfortable, the 28 inches will allow you to do that, because this is now so big, this shower stall, that you could literally do a 360 in here.
I've got the most narrow wheelchair. Really hip to hip. It's the smallest I can get, and even with the handrails and everything on the wheels, it's 20. What did I say? 20.
Well, we just have to be sure, because
24, so
once we set this wall, it's going to be very difficult.
It makes sense to. So it needs to be at least 24 to get the wheelchair through, and then I gotta have a little bit of hand space, so 26, 28.
So we added, so you feel like 28 is a lot of...
It's the perfect thing, I can easily choose.
Okay, so what I want to do is take 3/4 of an inch, measure in 3/4 of an inch here, and go over 28 3/4 inches from the wall, and that will be the... and we need to also add, there'll be some finish on the other side of the wall too, on the end of the wall, the butt end of the wall.
Well, if it comes up to 27,
so it's going to be 20, it's actually going to go over 28 plus 3/4 plus 3/4 for the build out of our finishes. So 29 3/4 will yield, after all the finishes that are on, it'll yield a 28 inch finished opening there. Because on this side here, we're going to have,
Peekaboo! We see you!
Well, we've finished drywalling in that little spot where the heater used to be, and I figured it would be easier to do it up there and later try to fit drywall in above there. So I also, using the markings I made, I drilled the top plate into the studs up there, into the blocking that I put in, so we have a very strong wall, and hopefully, God willing, everything is going to be plumb up and down here as I continue to build the wall out. And of course, you know, the old trusty, which you always have to have. You've got to have you got to be using a level all the time to make sure everything is plumb and square and up and down, and it makes a big difference on that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish building out this wall. I'm going to double stud it over here because we're going to have a lot of, that's going to be a stress point for us with the grab bars and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And we'll be adding a generous amount of blocking if we want to put a, you know, it depends. We'll have a lot of choices about how we want to put bars and stuff. So we won't have an issue of figuring out, oh no, we don't have any blocking behind that to hold that. We need a lot of strength on this stuff because you have to carry yourself with your arms a lot of times.
Yeah, 180 pounds I'm going to be lugging around.
180 pounds of beauty there. So I'm going to go ahead and finish framing this thing out, and you know, we'll understand all the blocking, and then we're probably not today, but we'll definitely do a video like I did before about differently able planning when it comes to blocking and where we want stuff to be. And here we don't want to come back later and have to rip the wall out because we didn't do something the right way. So, all right, we decided to keep that open up there, right, Jen? Because I'm still going to be doing electrical and all that.
Right.
It's easier. You know, we have the two little lights in here for the shower, and we have you know, probably a nice modern light up there, and then something over the vanity. So I'd rather be able to have easy access to that. So I'm just going to keep that open. That'll only take an hour to frame that in and drywall that.
Right.
Done. So
Yeah.
we're making good progress today.
Yippee!
Missy's happy.
That's always a good thing.
Thank you, honey.
I told you, you rock, baby girl.
Oh, yeah, I rock.
You rock.
Rocks in my friggin' head. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Okay, guys, the shower wall, the outer shower wall has now been built. It's been double studded here at the end for a lot of strength. Everything's all really square, really good up and down. Everything's all plumb. I insist that's the way I do stuff. So this helps define now the space. And Jen believes she's got plenty of room to get in and out of there, as I do too. And I think that will be really comfortable. So what I need to do now is go ahead and start putting the blocking in the bottom here so that I can put the moisture barrier in, so we can get to working on setting our first mortar bed in there. We'll be putting builder paper down, and we'll be putting wire lath down there, and mixing up some mortar and making a mortar bed, the initial one. Hopefully we'll be able to do that this weekend. That's why I got to kind of get on my horse and start cutting this material to do the bottom blocking, the 2x10s. All right. Some of these framing in for the bottom there, putting the blocking in for what's going to be the builder's paper and the mortar bed. Some of this stuff really needs to be formed out. You can see one I have here that I need to add to, especially short of sort of shape for the water pipes there. Kind of beat that in. Get that in there a little bit. Get that block down good. So, all right. So that fits good. The lower part's just gonna have to. We're gonna have to square it up with a real. Have to do something fancy on there to get something inset in there to block that up. I might have to cut before I set this upper piece. I might have to take the Sawzall and clear that out a little bit on the lower part so I can get a 2x4 across there at least. What is it Chairman Mao tells us? Life is class struggle, except when you're doing plumbing and framing work and all that. Remember, we had a lot of rotted wood down here where that rafter came through. We had some serious leakages from the toilet wicking over to that side. So I finally got some new wood pounded in, because when we lay the builder paper in for our mortar bed, we need to be able to have that come up the side. So in order to come up the side on the bed, we need to have something good for that to tack onto a really good solid surface. So finally I got that blocking on there, and then we have the upper piece it'll go on there too, somewhere. That thing, and that's got to be cut a little bit just for it to fit in, but you get the idea of the way that's going to fit in there. So with the water pipes and all that stuff. That took an hour to shape that piece for around the pipe and join in and make sure I got some really good, decent wood on that, and not a lot of that rotten stuff that's in there. So, okay. Is Missy happy?
Mamacita is very happy.
So,
I'm very happy.
We're going to work about another 50 minutes and then call it a day.
Excellent.
We're all pretty happy today. Haven't got that squared off, because we need a good square setting here for the corner. All right. So next thing you see, I'll do a wrap-up video today later, and that'll be it. Thanks. Sounds like the cleanup crew is hard at work after another long day. On to the reality of today, just to review, because we're wrapping up. You see, we removed all the molding around there and got that out of there. So I could get up on top today and drywall in that old place where the heat vent was. And you can see it was a pretty easy matter to get that shifted over to the side there. And we'll be moving the lights and all that, getting that established. We're going to have two recessed lights in the shower here, and that's going to be really nice. We'll have a bank of really nice, high quality lights, some type of really artistic, good looking thing. And of course we'll have something over the vanity that looks a little better than this thing here. So where do we stand? We got the shower framed in now, and you can see where the width of the opening and how comfortable that's going to be for Jen if she ever has to use a wheelchair to get in. And in addition, you can see how totally big and comfortable this shower is. If you're looking down on me here, you can see how much room I have on the side. I mean, we could almost literally stand side by side here. And when I'm assisting Jen with bathing sometimes, not so much now because she has the easy shower to walk in out there, but sometimes to wash her hair and do all that stuff, it's a lot easier when there's more room in here. So that's that. In addition, I got started with the bottom blocking here on the side because we need to have our mortar bed, have a foundation on the side. I had to replace pull and replace some of the rotted wood down there because we really need strong surfaces to hook onto. And I've gotten over here and I tried to undercut some of this down here, as you can see. And I'm going to be adding in wood down there so that makes a nice square finish for getting the mortar bed on. So we've still got plenty to do, but I gotta feel like having now the wall up and all that, we are really over the hump. Okay,